In terms of the drills that they just did, a combination of both. You have varying reasons for massage. You will see a masseur becoming active when an athlete is being prepared for competition. That masseur does not defeat what you're trying to do in their warm-ups. That masseur usually is only active and explosive mobility. If you see that same masseur in action after the athlete has finished training or after the athlete is competing, it is more of a passive stretching and cooling down the muscles process.
Question.
Yes, sir.
When you have a number of athletes training together and they have specific needs, how do you deal with that within the training session while still focusing on the drill?
Usually, well, as far as the warm-up is concerned, alright, I'll tell you something. MVP Track and Field Club in Kingston, Jamaica has '72 athletes who are on the track. It's between only 4 of those are middle distance runners, or over 400 meters. 4. So, on a usual training morning, it's a lot of fun because you have 60, 50 yard, depending on how many people turn up for training that day, going through pretty much the same warm-up schedule. The guys who are doing the middle distances, you see them running around the track. They're the ones going for mileage, right? But along the way, from general preparation moving up, you may see specific needs for your athlete as different from Mary as against Jane, and you may have to make adjustments on your microcycle to fit the particular need of that particular athlete. As long as you have the resources to monitor them all, then you're good. Right? Because you may do your test or your time trials and you may realize that somebody's not developing at the rate that you'd like them to, or it's different, you may have to design something different. But as long as you know the principles of where, because you start your cycle from the end result, yeah? Where you want it to be ready for, whether it be trials or the Olympic Games or what's the biggest need, and you work it back. So you can always make your adjustments based on your athletes and how they're responding to what you're doing in training.
Follow-up question.
Sure.
In putting them together as groups, you know, maybe 3 or 4 working out together, do you put similar athletes in terms of ability?
It's
and
usually a good idea in order.
But would you also maybe sometimes put maybe a younger athlete with a more experienced athlete so that there's some transfer of knowledge and things of that nature?
Wake up. We're just doing block clearances, so code is just as far as they're really going. Alright? Side. But you notice the arms are moving explosively in conjunction with both legs pushing the blocks. Usually you get most out of it When you are in the set position, pressure on the shoulder, and your front push leg is at 90 degrees, back at approximately 120 degrees. Alright? When you're starting properly, you don't have to false start. You react. Your thought processes. So what you do in the blocks is a process. How you get out is a process. When you get to 40 meters, another process. The reason why the blocks are there is because it is a buffer for force. Therefore, the youngsters who are here and the coaches, it's important that you get your athletes into the habit of putting force to those blocks. Putting force to those blocks, because if you don't, the best to discard them.
The full stride, and again, it's something that confuses us or confuses young people. They ask, should the full stride be long? And it always causes a bit of a problem because
there are variances in opinions as far as varying persons in the execution of the start is concerned. Our philosophy is long, longer, longer yet. Because you see, you have to, first and foremost, you need to emphasize long. Not overstriding, however, because you have to still have the proper foot placement. But because that is going to get into the psyche of the athlete. They need to push those blocks and get their stride out as long as possible. And it's also going to emphasize the need for the arms, right, as being critical in starting. And if an athlete, there are some things you may see that you realize came from an incorrect execution of their start. For example, their first step goes out nicely, and then their second one, they're off balance, about to fall. They're not using these things that they have, these sticks by their sides. Right? You have to keep the intensity going in order to keep the balance, the proper balance that you want. Remember, we're talking about up in the set position. You'll be doing exactly what I was hoping those athletes would not have done a while ago, which will be to come out of the blocks straight, because you're already telling your body you need to stand up. Yeah, right? From starting your try phase, it's pushing. You get the neck relaxed and down. The lanes don't ever move. They remain in the same place. They don't have nothing looking for down there. So you may do depending upon the severity. You do what you can manage. You be a hell what you can manage. But you have to keep the muscle group active. You can't just rest it. That's where it starts to show.
It's active stretching and passive stretching. Active before and passive after.
Of what you need to do afterwards. You're going to need to sprint afterwards. So you're not going to get to heel sprinting when you're just lying on it, lying down each day. You have to.